For as long as I can remember, I have always described my hair as being very slow growing. I've even said things like,
my hair just doesn't grow past a certain point.
Not normally in that weird voice. Anyway, I've blamed genetics, the universe, my impulsivity to go and chop my hair off at random points during my life. But what if none of that is actually true? Can you affect how quickly your hair grows? And you know all those hair growth hacks and tips, products, techniques that you see all over social media? Do any of those actually work? These are the questions I would like to answer. So this is going to be part one of a 2-part hair growth experiment. For the next 30 days, I'm just going to set the baseline. I've measured my hair on day 1. I'm not making any changes this month, and I will measure my hair again at the end of the month to see how much hair I grow in 30 days. After that, for part 2 of the experiment, I'm going to introduce 5, let's say new-ish hair habits, techniques or products that claim to improve hair growth. Hi, if we haven't met, my name's Tori. I have wavy hair and I started caring for it properly and consistently over 18 months ago. I don't follow any strict rules or routines, so no curly or wavy methods, just worked out really what my hair needs and likes and sharing that information with you guys. One of my current goals with my hair is to grow long, strong, healthy hair. And so I already have what I would describe as a pretty good healthy hair care routine, but let's see how much I can actually affect how quickly my hair grows. So, super important, how long is my hair now? Well, on the 1st of November, I took a tape measure and I measured my hair. This was not easy to do. Anyway, I have measured this front piece here, mainly because it was most easy to get hold of, and I just popped the measuring tape on my centre parting. I always wear my hair in a centre part, so I thought that would be nice and consistent. And as you can see, it's showing at about, it gets a bit stringy towards the ends, but I would say that's 16 inches. Now, interestingly, I tried to do this again this morning just for a bit of consistency. It's only the 4th of November, so I don't think that's going to make a massive difference. But also doing it on wet hair, and I ended up with the same result. So on the day that I measured, I blow dried my hair. I just roughly blow dried it. When I say rough, I wasn't rough with it, but I didn't smooth it down with a brush. So that is actually how my hair looks if I just take a hairdryer to it without any kind of styling. But because I have naturally wavy hair, I didn't want to do a curly or wavy routine because my hair will look significantly shorter if I have a tighter curl pattern. So hopefully that makes sense. On top of that, I also wore a stripy jumper on purpose because I thought it would give us a visual measurement guide as well. So from the back and from the front, I've got some stripes so that we can actually try and visually see whether or not my hair's grown. So those are my 2 measuring techniques, the tape measure and a visual representation. Okay, this is not super scientific, but I think we'll get some results from it. The internet told me that I can expect my hair to grow ½ an inch in 30 days. Not to be cynical, because actually, generally, I consider myself a positive person, but I do think I will be below that average. But let's wait and see. We'll find out. Boston is joining us. She just had to have a drink. Thirsty work being in the background of a YouTube video. Now, before we go on to set the 5, let's call them hair growth habits, we need to understand what influences hair growth. And the answer is there is a lot. And from all the research and reading that I did, it almost came a little bit overwhelming. So I've tried to condense it for the purposes of this experiment and focus on 3 things. They are genetics, health and nutrition, and then hair and scalp care. So first up, let's talk about the thing that we can't control, and that is genetics. So a lot of the characteristics of your hair are predetermined at birth, and they are pretty much, for the most part, set in stone. So for example, the fact that I have a loose wave pattern, that my hair is fine, but that I have medium density, these are all characteristics that were predetermined. Now, I appreciate there are probably some people sitting there, particularly female. I have read posts on Facebook and Reddit where somebody's hair pattern in particular has changed due to hormonal changes. So I do appreciate there's always an exception to the rule, but I think if we just talk more generally, when it comes to genetics, you can't influence them. So I think it's good to try and accept the hair type and the characteristics that you have. Would I like thicker hair? Yes, I absolutely would. But am I also grateful for the amount of fine hair that I have? Yes, I am. Number 2, health and nutrition. So this is something that I feel we can have quite a big influence on. And obviously, there are lots of different things when it comes to our health. Are you eating a balanced diet? Are you getting plenty of protein and healthy fats? Are you potentially deficient in any vitamins or nutrients? All of those elements when it comes to nutrition will show up in your hair, your skin, your nails, and so on. But there are lots of other factors too, you know, how much alcohol do you consume? Do you smoke? Do you exercise regularly? Do you have a lot of stress in your life? So these are all things that I think we can, to a certain extent, control or at the very least influence. So later on, when we decide about the 5 hair growth factors that we're going to introduce for the part 2, I definitely want to talk about nutrition and supplementation. And finally, let's talk about the one where I think you have most control and influence, and that is how you treat your hair and your scalp. So starting off with scalp, if you think of this as like the soil of a plant, if you keep it hydrated, that soil is rich in nutrients and minerals, it's going to be so much easier for that plant to grow nice and healthy. And it's the same for our hair. So there are different things that you can do to care for your scalp, but gentle cleansing, massage, exfoliation, all of these things really help the hair follicle, and that is where healthy hair growth starts. The second thing when it comes to hair care is, how do you treat your hair at the moment? And one of the difficulties that I got into was I was abusing my hair with overheat styling, which I didn't think I was doing at the time, but anyway, I was. And there are lots of other things we may be doing. So are you over colour treating your hair? Do you use a lot of bleach on it? Do you use lots of dyes? Are you using heat styling tools every day? How you care for your hair will have a big impact, because although your hair obviously grows from the root, if it is constantly breaking off and snapping and damaged or split ends, then that's why it never looks like it gets any longer. So now that we've kind of established what we can actually influence, this helped me sort of come up with 5 ideas for hair growth habits that we could introduce. However, I have not set any of these in stone. We've still got 30 days before I need to introduce them. So I'm really hoping that you will comment and feedback and give suggestions and let me know what you think about these 5 things. But the ones that I'd kind of got to were: number 1, supplementation. Number 2, scalp massages. Number 3, a dedicated hair growth serum or oil. Number 4, growth focused shampoo and conditioner. And then number 5, a new bond repair. So now let's talk about those 5 areas in a little bit more detail. And the first is supplementation. When you go online and put in hair growth supplement, it's overwhelming the amount of products that are out there. I already supplement 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day, and that is the one that I always remember to do, I think because I have noticed such a big difference with it. However, I do also try, for the most part, I don't always remember every day, but I do also try to supplement with a good multivitamin. So I think for the purposes of this experiment, I would like to introduce a supplement that claims to help with hair growth. So there are a few different options that I'm looking at. I'll pop them up on screen at the moment. If you have any experience with any of these, then please do let me know what your thoughts are. Or if you are watching this and thinking, oh, I take this and it's amazing, then again, I would love some recommendations, because it is quite overwhelming as to which one to choose. But I will introduce, as the first hair growth habit, a dedicated supplement. Number 2, scalp massages. And this is why I think earlier on I said newish hair growth habits, because I do already massage my scalp, and it's usually when I'm washing my hair. I also do use some scalp serums and oils. We'll get back to that in the next point. But if I was to apply those, then I would also massage my scalp then. But what I want to do for the 30 days of December is massage my scalp for a minimum of 5 minutes every single day. The thought behind this is because massage increases blood flow, and with the blood comes oxygen and nutrients that are really essential for the health and strength of your hair follicle. So I want to do this every day for 5 minutes, and my challenge will be building that habit in on a daily basis. Number 3, a dedicated hair growth serum. Now, I do already use serums and oils within my hair care, either as a pre-wash product or for scalp care. So I've got the rosemary oil, I love one from Kerastase, there's also one from Beauty Pie, but they're more focused about anti-fall and hair density than they are hair growth. So I'm on the hunt for a dedicated claims to help with the rate of your hair growth serum. So if you can help me out with that, please drop your recommendation in the comments box. I have already found a couple that I like the look of, but I am more than open to suggestion. And number 4 is another topic that I need your help with, because this is about a dedicated shampoo and conditioner focusing on growing longer hair. When you Google shampoo and conditioner hair growth, loads of options pop up. But when you start to delve a little bit deeper into the claims that the products are actually making, a lot of them are focusing much more on hair health than they are actually saying this product will increase the speed at which your hair grows. Because your hair actually does grow from the root, not from the ends, obviously. But if your hair is in bad condition and it's breaking off, then it won't get any longer, even though it's still growing. So the shampoos and conditioners that I already use are hydrating and moisturising. However, as part of this experiment, I would like a dedicated shampoo and conditioner that focuses on probably either anti-breakage or claims to help with hair growth in some way, because I do think hair growth is a two-pronged approach, taking care of your scalp, but also the health of your hair so it doesn't break off. Now, there are so many different options. I've kind of whittled it down to a few, and I'm going to put out a community post tab and get you guys to vote, if that's okay, on which one you would go for. The one I'm currently leaning towards, and I don't want to influence you in any way. In fact, maybe we shouldn't mention it. No, I'm going to hold back because I don't want to influence you. I'm just going to put the options up in a community post and I'll pop it on Instagram. If you don't follow me there, by the way, I am at Method to My Waves. So I'll put up a poll and hopefully enough people will answer the poll so that it clearly tells me which one to go for. And finally, hair growth habit number 5 is introducing a new bond repair. So I already use bond repairs within my hair care regime. I regularly use Olaplex 3, probably on average 2 to 3 times a month. Again, I should use it more. Life gets in the way. That's the only reason. I also use K18, but because it's so expensive, and you know, I'm a girl on a budget, I choose to only use that after I've just had my colour treatment. So for the first 1, 2 or 3 washes, I will use K18 when I've just had my colour freshly done. But I only have that done now every 4-ish months. So I don't use K18 on a super regular basis. At the moment, I have also been testing out the one from Living Proof. If you would like me to review that product and share my thoughts on it, then let me know and I will get something filmed. But I recently ran out of Olaplex number 3 and this gave me a bit of an opportunity to do some research, and I came across a video from the amazing Blowout Professor, and he did a perfect video for me because it was comparing 3 of the top selling bond repair treatments.
Hair gets damaged. It's just something that happens, but this isn't the 90s anymore. You don't need to cut your hair off and start all over unless you had a horrible breakup. Let's do a quick rundown of the 3 major repair lines, starting with Olaplex.
And if you don't want to hear about this and you want to watch the video yourself, you might want to just fast forward this section because there will be some spoiler alerts. The 3 products that he compared were K18, Olaplex number 3, and it's got a terrible name. It's Redkin Acidic Concentrate Intensive Treatment, something like that. But I'm going to refer to it as Redkin Bond Repair because it's too much of a mouthful. And yeah, so here is the spoiler alert. Creatine came out bottom. What I love, I'm sure his name's Chris, what I love about his videos are he has tested it. He's a hairdresser himself. He has a salon and he has staff. So he asks his staff and some of his clients to test out the products. So you're kind of like getting feedback from professionals, but also from quite a wide range of people. Creatine came out bottom because although they said, yes, it definitely works and it is repairing the hair, no one liked how their hair felt, which was interesting. Number 2 was Olaplex number 3. That came out second. Everyone really, really liked that. They definitely felt like it was repairing their hair. It's, you know, the original bond repair treatment. So I don't think he really had any negative things to say about it. But the one that came out top was the Redkin Bond Repair. And I have not tried this. So as part of the experiment, the 5th hair growth habit, I'm going to introduce this and I'm going to make sure I do it on a weekly basis because that's what he recommended. He said within 2 months, any damage should be repaired from using this on a weekly basis. So that's what I'm going to do. And so that's the plan for December. What do you think? And are you up for joining me on the challenge? We could share in the community tab and on Instagram, like progress and how we're actually embedding some of these habits into our life and tracking them and all that good stuff. So yeah, let me know what you think and if you're up for trying to grow long, healthy hair with me. And if you'd like 3 very simple ways to improve the health of your hair, then I would check out this video next because these are super transformative tips that took my once very damaged hair to soft and manageable waves. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.